Hey there. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. I just thought I'd pop on and say hello and tell you about an odd thing this morning. I was looking outside the window and I thought, okay, there is no way it could possibly be snowing in southern Thailand, okay? I looked out and there was like all this white stuff coming down that looked like snowflakes. And I was trying to get some video because I thought, I've got to capture this if it is. But I kept looking at it and I thought, there's no way this is. It had to have been ash because there were some people up there. I could see people were burning something up there, and that's had to be what it was. But that was so bizarre to look out the window and literally see all this little white snowflake looking stuff coming down outside. It literally looked like it was snowing outside. And I was trying to record it, but the camera just was not picking it up. You just really could not see it. It's like by the time I noticed it naturally, I've said that before. It's like as soon as I go to record something, it basically stops, whatever it is. But that was just very bizarre because I was standing over here washing dishes and I had something that was playing, a YouTube video. And so I was kind of like looking over every now and again to watch the video. And I looked over and I happened to look out the window, and that's when I noticed it and I thought, what in the world? I was like, it's snowing. And then I was thinking, I thought, there's no way. That is impossible. But then I started smelling something burning, and I looked up the road and I could see all the smoke. Because here people burn stuff all the time. That's very normal. But I'm not used to seeing ash coming down like that. So that was just kind of weird. But anyway, so yeah, that was an interesting way to start the day off. Was this almost snow-like experience. But that kind of leads me into what I was going to tell you next. I had a request on my other channel to do a cozy cabin check-in video. And so I'm going to try and do that as soon as things quieten down here a little bit more, because there's still an awful lot of traffic and stuff. So it's pretty pointless to try to start it anytime soon. But I was thinking about it and I thought, I'm going to take from my experience when I used to live in Colorado. I went for, I think it was just one night. Seems like it was just a one night thing. I went up to this place called Indian Springs in Colorado, and it was kind of up in the mountains. And this place was so cool. I loved this place. They had cabins that you could stay in. They had different, things that you could stay in. There was like one inside the main building. They had like rooms that you could rent. And then they had outside of the building, there were like these other little places that you could rent to stay in. And that's where I actually stayed, was outside of the actual building where you check in and all that stuff. But this place was really cool. They had these caves that you could go in, which I did not go in the cave because they had natural hot springs. That's what this Indian Springs is. It's natural hot springs. And they had hot springs in this cave that you could go in. But I was not brave enough to go down there and do it because it was required that you do it naked. You weren't allowed to wear clothes in there, which, nope, I was not going to do that. So I never went in the caves and to see that. But then they also had these little natural hot spring, what do you call them? Like, oh, there's that puppy again. Hang on. All right, sorry about that. Yeah, I went and checked, and it's just the puppy and the mom dog out there. I couldn't see if the other puppy was out there, but there's no people around. They just get carried away, I think. Every time I try to start recording a video, there's something. And it's that time of night again. I'm telling you, it's this time of night every night that that puppy is out there yelping and hollering for some reason. Anyway, hot tubs is what I was trying to say. They have these outdoor natural hot spring hot tubs that you can go into. And I used to love to go there. Sometimes I would just drive up there to just go sit in the hot tub for a half an hour or whatever it was. I think it was like a half an hour or something that you paid for. And I would drive up there just to go do that because it was so nice. And the best time to do it is in the wintertime when it's freaking cold and there's snow around. Because it is incredible when you get in that hot spring water and it's like really, really hot. There's the gate. The landlady's closing the gate. I'm telling you, I am really good at picking the perfect time to make my videos all the time. It's always the perfect time. Okay, so yeah, when you get in those hot spring hot tubs and you get all hot in there because that water is really hot, and they did have a thing where you could adjust the temperature on it too. So I think if you wanted it to be cooler or something, or maybe, I can't remember. It's been many, many, many years since I've gone there and done that. I can't even remember how many years it's been now. But whatever the case, anyway, it's outside. And you would think that you would be cold getting out of it because it's cold outside and there's snow on the ground, but you're not, because that temperature of the water makes you really hot. And so when you get out, it is so refreshing to feel that cold air. It was incredible. I'm telling you, that was so much fun. And I used to always try to get the same hot tub every time. It was the Thunderbird, because each one of the hot tubs had like a number, and there were 10 of them, and the Thunderbird was number 10 from what I recall. And I always requested that one because that was just my favorite one, because it was kind of at the end, and the scenery around was just really beautiful and everything. It was just incredible because these hot tubs were kind of like right off of the mountain. So it's like you're surrounded by a mountain and everything. But it was so beautiful, and it was so cool to stay there. I mean, it was just a really neat place. So I think I'm going to take from that experience to work into my video that I'm going to make tonight for the Cozy Cabin check-in. And I'm trying to remember, because it's been so long since I've been there, I'm trying to remember everything that they offered there. But I know they had the caves, which I just could not do. No way. But with the outdoor ones, you could wear clothes in there. Plus, it was private, so you were able to actually go in because they had each one of them enclosed. So they were, there was like like kind of a fenced wall thing, like a 6-foot high, boarded up wall thing around it. So it was completely private when you were in there. And they had like a shower, I think, and yeah, there was like a little place that you could go in to change your clothes, and I think there was a shower in there or something. But anyway, it was just really cool. And they also had, and I think maybe that might have been the same, God, I wish I could remember now, because it seems like they had like a sauna or something too, but I can't remember 100%. And they might have had a swimming pool as well, but that I'm not really sure about. Man, it's been, God, I can't even remember how many years it's been since I went there, but it was just a really neat place. It really was. I mean, it was kind of a drive, because it was up in the mountains, Colorado. And look it up if you're interested, because I'm sure it's probably still there. They may have changed some things or something since I was there, but it was awesome. It was really a cool place. So, yeah, I'm going to have to just take from that experience and course, I'll have to embellish a lot of it and add in other details and things like that that, you know, may not have been from that place. But, yeah, that was just really cool. And it's something I haven't thought about in years, but I remembered it when I started reading the request to do the cozy cabin check-in. I was like, God, that reminds me of Indian Springs, because that was such a cool place to go to. I can't think of any other places like that I ever went to. I don't remember ever going into any other cabin type places in the mountains or anything like that, you know, in the winter time. So it was only that place that I went to in the winter time. But I mean, I remember camp. I remember going to camp when I was young. I was a kid. And that was fun for me. I always liked going to camp. The only thing I didn't really like, though, was that you couldn't just do what you wanted to do. They always had all these activities that you had to do. So it's like you didn't really have a choice, you know? And that was kind of a bummer. I mean, I think they had like free time and stuff where you could, you know, do other things, but mostly it was just doing whatever activities they wanted you to do, which weren't always that much fun. But I liked the ambiance of camp, because I mean, when I went to camp, we stayed in a cabin, you know, so that was a cabin experience where they had all these like bunk bed type things in there, and so everybody was, you know, sleeping in a bed, so it wasn't camping out in a tent. Because I don't remember if we ever did that, but staying in the little cabin thing was kind of cool. You know, it's like hanging out, having a big slumber party or something. But God, that's been definitely many years. That was a long time ago. But I don't know. I always love those kind of experiences, staying out in the mountains somewhere. Actually, that just reminded me. There was this one place, come to think of it. I used to work, when I lived in Colorado, I worked at Mile High Church. I was just the facilities person. I'm the one that went around and cleaned the bathrooms and cleaned, you know, all the buildings and that kind of stuff. That was my job. But we did have like a staff retreat where we went someplace. It was up in the mountains, and it was in the wintertime because I was scared. I was terrified. I don't like driving in snow and ice and stuff like that. And honestly, I'm like really scared even driving up in the mountains, especially if I'm not the one driving, and I wasn't. At the time I was with my boyfriend because he worked there at the church as well. So we went together. But that place was kind of cool, but it was just rooms. It wasn't like cabins or anything, but whatever this place was that we went to, I mean, it was kind of neat. You know, it had its own, you know, kind of cool atmosphere, but it was kind of messed up though, because it's like we had to like draw names or something for who we were staying with. And I got this one lady. I mean, she was really nice and all, but I was supposed to be staying in the room with her, because even though I was, you know, my boyfriend and I were both there at the time, we weren't allowed to stay together. We, you know, women had to stay with women and men had to stay with men at the time, you know, which now, of course, is probably not a big deal at all, but at that time, you know, they had it that way. So anyway, I was supposed to be staying with this one lady, and I could not sleep. She snored so loud, and I cannot stand snoring. I can't deal with it. I cannot deal with snoring. Ever since I was a child, my dad used to snore really, really loud, and I used to sleep with pillows wrapped around my head. That's when I started sleeping with a fan. Ever since I was a kid, I've slept with a fan on, and that's why I have a fan 24 hours a day. Because, I mean, at the time, of course, I had no idea that I have misophonia, which, certain sounds and stuff I just cannot take. It's like I literally can't take it. Snoring is one of those. Oh, God. And this woman, she snored, and I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I ended up leaving the room, and I went down. There was like this place that was it was like a room where you could go in, and there was like a TV or something in there, and it was a place where people could gather and hang out or whatever. And I went down there and slept on the couch because I could not sleep with that woman snoring so loud. I was just like, there's no way I can do this. I can't. And I don't know, that trip was not very fun. I actually still have something. Actually, hang on a second. I think I might be able to get it. Well, I feel like a dork. I thought I had it in this little box thing that I've kept for years. It's broken. That's why I've got like rubber bands holding it together. I thought it was in here, but it's not. There was this thing that I made there because we had these like activities and stuff to do there as well, and they had like all these different beads and things like that so that we could make stuff with them. And I made like this. It wasn't really a necklace. It was just kind of a thing that you could hang up on the wall or something. Anyway, I was going to show it to you, but I can't. I don't know where it is. I saved it though, so I do have it somewhere, probably stored away. But anyway, yeah, I didn't really enjoy that trip. And then I got really ill. I started feeling sick. And I don't know, maybe it could have been something I ate or something. But I just felt horrible. I mean, it was one of the days when we were in there making stuff, crafts or something. And I was just sitting there, and all of a sudden I was just like, oh, I don't feel well. And I had to go lay down. And I think we were leaving like either that same day or the next day. I can't remember. I couldn't wait to leave. And of course, the day we were supposed to leave and the time we were supposed to leave, the weather had gotten really bad. Heavy, heavy snow coming down in the mountains. And we had to go home down this mountain in this heavy, blinding snow where you had to like drive really, really slow because you could not see the car in front of you. I mean, if they had brake lights, you could kind of see the brake lights. And I mean, I was so terrified going home on this trip. And it was a long trip too. It was not just a little half an hour drive. I can't even remember how long it took to get home from this place. Oh, it was awful. And I could not wait to get home because I wasn't feeling well as it was. And then I was terrified making that trip and that on those horrible roads. Oh, man. So, yeah. And I don't even know why we went on this staff retreat thing. I can't even remember why we went there now, but it wasn't very much fun. I really didn't enjoy it. And, especially because at that time, too, I think that was when I had first come to realize that I was introverted, because I didn't really know much about introvert, extrovert stuff at the time. But I had started looking into it, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm introverted. Now I'm learning a lot more about myself, finding out about the whole autism thing and everything that, man, I'm telling you, it's like when you start to look into things like that, you start realizing, man, this explains so much about me that I never knew before. It really gives you a bigger, much clearer perspective of why you've been the way you've been your whole life, So, yeah, and I was just not into this thing of, being stuck in this room with all these people. It's like, they were all nice people and everything. I mean, they were people I worked with, but, and I liked them. They were, nice people, but I just did not like being in that situation, and I felt trapped and just, ugh, I don't know, but anyway, I don't even know how I got off on that. I guess because I was thinking about that was kind of a thing where I stayed, but it wasn't a cabin though. It was just, it was indoors, and it was just like I don't know. It was almost like a cabin-ish motel, hotel type place. More like a motel, really, because it seemed like to get to the rooms, maybe, I don't know. I think you could access them from the inside, but they had like little balconies and stuff. You could look outside, and I don't know, but it was not fun. So, not like Indian Springs. That was fun. I really enjoyed that. That's Slim. That dog I call Slim. It's like I could ask what his name is because he might have a name. I don't know. These people don't view pets the same way that we do, so he may not even have a name. But if he does, it wouldn't matter. I'd still call him Slim because it's just what I call him. And he knows that too, because when I see him, I'm like, "Hey, Slim, how you doing?" He always looks at me like, okay, you got any food? Because he always comes over here looking to see if I've thrown anything outside to eat, because sometimes I will throw, leftovers or something out there, because I know that either he'll come and eat it, or the birds or the roosters will eat it, something. So it gets eaten. So that's why I throw stuff out there, but anyway, I have on my laptop right now because I didn't want it shut off. That's what I've been doing recently, because if you've been watching for a while, you know that every time I'd be making a video, my laptop would shut down and make that noise whenever I'm recording my video. So now I've started putting a video on YouTube and muting it. And so I've got some kind of like jazz by the fireplace or something. So there's like a fireplace thing going. And I'd like to have that in my video, but I won't be able to do it because I need my laptop screen to look at, so I can see what I'm recording. But that would be kind of nice to have a little fireplace thing going in the video I'm going to make. So I just hope it turns out all right, because I think it'd be fun to do one. I'm just not really sure what to do, and I don't have clothes that are like cabinish kind of clothes. I'm just going to have to wear what I'm wearing. Because, being that I'm in a hot climate, this is like the most sleeves that I have. I do not have long sleeve shirts. I don't have jackets or coats or anything like that. Somewhere I've got my collar. Okay, it did it to me again. The stupid thing stopped recording because it said I've reached my maximum storage limit. Oh, good God. What I did was I deleted a bunch of videos so that I would free up space, but then forgot to empty the trash where it goes to when I delete it. So it still was using up space. So anyway, I think what I was saying before I was cut off was I still have my Colorado Avalanche jacket because I was a huge, huge hockey fan. I haven't seen it in years and years because they don't have hockey here. Or if they do, I've never seen it. But I was a huge Colorado Avalanche fan, and I'm so excited that they got to win the Stanley Cup this year. I was like so proud of them. Of course, I don't know any of the players now because they're always changing. But anyway, I used to go to the games all the time. I loved going to those hockey games. So much fun. But I do have that somewhere. But it's in storage. It's stored away someplace, so I'm not going to put that on anyway. That dang thing cut off anyhow. You hear that? Am I in the Twilight Zone? I left that dang video playing so it wouldn't do that. So now I've managed to run out of space on here and my video stopped recording. Now that thing shut off. I had that puppy out there barking or hollering. Slim out there barking. Next will be you-know-who, Lightning. He'll probably show up wanting to come in. I swear. I guess I ought to just stop rambling on. I swear. Anyway, well, I hope y'all have enjoyed my ramblings tonight. Yeah, I'm just got to thinking about that Indian Springs, and I just thought, yeah, I think that'll be cool to make a video and kind of work in some of those things that I got to do while I was there, because that was really cool. But yeah, I don't have any winter type clothes, so it's like I'm not gonna really maybe look the part that much. But oh well. Hopefully it'll be a decent video and people will like it anyway. So anyway, well, I hope that you all are having a great day, and I look forward to coming back tomorrow with another video. Hopefully I'll have something exciting to talk about. Maybe. We'll see. So anyway, I will talk to you later on. So thanks for watching, and have a good one, everybody. Bye.